What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with TechDaily, and in this video, we are checking out some of the smart home tech that I use every single day. It's actually been quite a while since I've done any sort of house tour, but I recently upgraded some important gear, and I've also been using some of my other stuff now for quite a while. And I thought this was the right time to sort of bring it all together and show you pretty much everything I've been using. There's definitely a lot to go over here, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it with the first piece of gear. Probably the most important thing actually, and that would be my Wi-Fi router. This is the new NETGEAR Nighthawk RAXE 500. It's a tri-band Wi-Fi router. It's the newest addition to my setup, and I've been using it for the last couple of weeks now after the folks at NETGEAR were kind enough to send it over to me and also sponsor this video. And I think this is a really great router for anyone looking to get a jump on some of the newest advancements in Wi-Fi tech, particularly the next-gen Wi-Fi 6E technology, which can deliver some incredibly fast Wi-Fi speeds. This router, I think, is an especially great solution for high bandwidth households with gaming, 4K, and even 8K video streaming, big upload and download files, lots and lots of connected devices. And as advanced as this router is, it's still really easy to set up and use. Out of the box, you get everything you need. The router itself, obviously, a power cable, an included Ethernet cable, and after downloading the NETGEAR Nighthawk app, which is available on both iOS and Android, you can follow along with the on-screen instructions and have everything set up in just a few minutes. After plugging in the router to your modem like usual, there's a simple process of creating your new Wi-Fi network, setting up the security, and after that, you're pretty much good to go. Inside the Nighthawk app, you'll find a helpful selection of options, including the device manager, which allows you to view and manage all the devices currently connected to your network. You can easily change your network settings, set up a guest network, check the speeds of your Wi-Fi at any time, and for some added security, you can even try out NETGEAR Armor for up to 30 days completely for free. This is just an extra layer of internet security that will block suspicious links, alert you of any potential threats, and generate a report on how you can improve your network security. All in all, the app is super easy to use and has both the everyday options and more advanced settings to give you complete control over your home network. The Wi-Fi router itself, aside from looking like a spaceship, which is kind of awesome, also has all the connection capabilities you'd need, including 2 USB 3.0 ports around back, multi-gig internet, 4 more gigabit Ethernet LAN ports, and 1 more additional multi-gig port as well. Altogether, you can get wired connection speeds of up to 2.5 gigabits per second and combined speeds of up to 10.8. Out of everything this router offers, though, I think it's the Wi-Fi capabilities that do stand out the most. This is a tri-band router, like I said, so you get the usual 2.4 and 5 gigahertz bands, which work with all your standard connected devices, but you also get the new next-gen 6 gigahertz band, which can deliver the best possible speeds and performance on newer next-gen capable devices, like the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, for example, which is a Wi-Fi 6 capable device. So right from your smartphone, you're gonna get the smoothest and fastest Wi-Fi experience for streaming, gaming, downloading, and everything else, all made possible with the new Wi-Fi 6E band. All in all, the NETGEAR Nighthawk RAX 500 has been a great addition to my setup. Not only is my home Wi-Fi network now faster and more capable than ever, it's also been future-proofed in a way, ready to handle all the upcoming Wi-Fi 6 devices, and I definitely recommend this setup if you're trying to deliver the fastest, smoothest, and most capable wireless network for your home. If you're interested, check out the link down below to NETGEAR's website to learn more about the Nighthawk router, and thanks so much again to NETGEAR for sponsoring this video. So beyond my Wi-Fi router, I think the tech I almost use as often are the Hue Lights that I have scattered around my place. Now, I did a dedicated Hue Lights setup and overview video when I first moved in, and I'm happy to say that in the 3 years since, I've had next to no issues. I probably have a dozen or more different bulbs, from their standard E26 bulb and a couple lights and lamps, to the BR30s in my kitchen, and even the E12 candelabras, and a Hue light strip that lines the back of my couch too. Some of them are the color-changing ambiance variety, others are the all-white, but every single bulb and light I've had has not yet needed to be replaced. So as expensive as Hue lights tend to be, I'd consider considered them well worth the investment up to this point. Obviously, it's also nice that they do work with Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant. You can automate them to turn on or off as needed. But the reason I actually wanted to feature them again here is mainly because Hue finally pushed out a comprehensive new app update with a fresh design and improved performance, which was definitely much needed. It's now easier and faster to access the room controls and set up preset scenes. It's also easier to add and edit the lights in your setup. The automation tab has been updated and improved as well. It's a long-awaited and worthwhile update for sure that I think is a big improvement. And again, I know Hue Lights are quite the investment. There are definitely cheaper color-changing smart bulbs out there now that are just as good. But for me, at least, the investment has been worth it, and I've been super happy. Now, if you don't want to invest all that money in all new smart bulbs, and maybe you just want to control the lights, lamps, and anything else really with a plug in your home, you can of course just get some smart plugs like these, which get the job done too. These are the Casa smart home Wi-Fi connected plugs. They're super cheap. A 4-pack is like $25, but they're easy to set up Wi-Fi enabled plugs that allow you to turn on or off basically anything that's plugged into them. The smart plugs coincide with the Casa app, but you can also set up the plugs for use with Alexa and Google Assistant. And considering how popular these plugs are in particular on Amazon, they have like 22,000 reviews. I think a lot of people utilize these now to more quickly and easily automate and control a lot of the devices around their home. They're a really great, simple solution for home automation and keeping your gadgets and gear connected. Another home-specific piece of tech I use quite often still is my Nest thermostat. This is also something I've had basically since I moved in, and I know there are new versions of this thermostat out now, and probably some better alternatives too, like the Ecobee, but I haven't had any issues with this Nest one, and I don't have any plans to replace it anytime soon. Over the last 3 years, it's learned my routines, managed my AC and heat really well. The app still works great, and like I said, I just haven't had any issues with it. To keep my place clean, I of course have to use a robot vacuum to do all the dirty work for me, and the one that's been cruising around sucking up all the dust and debris for me is this Neobot robot vacuum. I've had this for a few months now, and for me, it does get the job done. It's got decent sucking power for both dust and larger items like crumbs, hair, lint, and whatever else. Its obstacle avoidance is pretty solid too. It knows what's around it. It transitions from hardwood floors to carpet pretty easily without getting stuck. It doesn't really bump into much either, and it follows a pretty straightforward pattern of movement. I've actually found it to be very fast and efficient too. It can get a whole room done in just a few minutes, and the battery lasts more than an hour on a single charge. So for my space, which is about 1,100 square feet, it can pretty much get it all clean in one pass. There's an app you can use to set up a house map, room-specific cleaning guides, no-go zones, a weekly schedule. But the best thing about this robot vacuum in particular is the self-emptying dustbin. When it returns home, all the dust and debris it collected inside the vacuum gets sucked into this big charging base. And every 4 or 5 weeks, you can just dump out the dustbin and you're good to go. You don't have to go inside the vacuum at all. And that pretty much makes this vacuum entirely self-sufficient. And with a weekly cleaning schedule, I almost never have to think about it. I know there are dozens of great robot vacuums out there nowadays. They're getting both really affordable and really good at what they do. So I think if you're tired of at least the surface level cleaning with floors and carpets, now is definitely the time to invest in something like this. As far as entertainment, I do have the usual stuff, an Apple TV, Fire TV stick, the whole Sony Smart TV in the living room, but there are a couple unique things here as well that I think are worth pointing out. The first is actually my surround sound setup for my living room. I still use this Enclave Cinehome 2 that I did a video on nearly a year ago now, but it's been great since the day I set it up, and I still highly recommend it. This is a 6-speaker surround sound setup with a sub that requires practically no hard wiring and no advanced technical know-how. It's all wireless, which is really unique for a home surround sound setup. Each speaker just gets plugged in individually to an outlet. You can see I have left, right, and center speakers near the TV, as well as 2 rear speakers, one on a shelf and one I just clamped onto a lamp, which I know looks a little weird, but is actually a great solution, I think. And through the app, you connect up all the speakers at once and you have instant surround sound without having to rewire entire your whole living room. The best part is, while you might suspect there to be some lag or latency with the sound since it is wireless, there's really nothing noticeable. It's a better than average wireless speaker setup and a phenomenal sounding surround sound experience for what it is. And every time I sit down to watch something, I really do enjoy it. It's still probably the easiest way to get surround sound in practically any room in the house. And while it is kind of expensive still, more than $1,000 on a per speaker price basis, and considering what it is, it's actually not a bad deal. I know I also haven't really found much else that beats it either as far as the ease of use and setup as well as the sound quality. So this is also something that'll be staying in my home for the foreseeable future and something I still recommend. And finally, the setup that you guys can't seem to get enough of, my bedroom projector setup. Now with this, I still have the same super affordable gym tab projector from the setup video from a while back, and I've obviously gotten way more use out of it than the $250 this projector costs. You might notice that I did wrap the projector in white 3M film, totally not necessary. It used to be black, but I wanted to match the all-white room setup a little better. And all in all, I think this is a really awesome solution to get basically a movie theater-like experience for super cheap. For the viewing experience, I have a cable box connected up to the projector using a crazy long HDMI cable so I can watch regular old TV shows, but there's also an Amazon Fire TV stick connected around back that's sort of hidden there, so I can enjoy all my streaming apps and everything else on demand. And I think a projector like this, something super affordable but still really good, paired up with the Fire TV stick, is basically the perfect budget home theater setup. And I still think the quality of this gym tab projector is better than average too. It's 1080p resolution, it's bright, it's colorful, it's easy to use, and the built-in speaker is actually pretty good for a budget projector. I know probably hundreds of you have picked up this projector over the years since I last recommended it. That budget projector setup video is still one of my most popular ones to this day, but I still think this is the best way to get a movie theater-like experience in your home for cheap, and paired up with that Fire TV stick around back, you do have pretty much everything you need. So there you go, that's most of the tech I use each and every day around my house, outside my office. Some of it is smart, some of it is just tech, but all in all, I think it's still really great. And I'm interested to know what you guys use in your homes too. So let me know in the comments down below this smart tech you can't live without. I'd love to know your thoughts, of course. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Be sure to follow TechDaily on Twitter and subscribe to the TechDaily YouTube channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys later.